We're going to have to do something about those graphics. That keeps catching me out. That's the 2 second intro for In the Metal. Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and joining myself, Johnny Michael Hearn from Ireland. And looking forward to kill that second voice going on there. And so, yes, we are going to. Hang about, folks. What about that? So, yeah, we're doing a little follow up to last week's episode of In the Metal, where I was reporting back from an amazing week in Geneva during the Watches and Wonders 2026 event, and just a little recap of my travels around the city of Geneva and all the little spaces that we were looking at. We encountered some amazing watches. Before we go any further, I do this with Jay Kumar, and who is very gratefully joining us again. And so, Jay, how are you doing, my man?
Good. How are you, Johnny?
I am so good
You're
at
looking
those
very
opening
fresh
few
and
seconds.
very alive and very fresh. What's going on?
That's because I am panicking, man, because usually I don't know what happened there. I had to shut down so many windows, just because the noise was coming from somewhere. And so, yeah, I will improve. I promise you, everybody, I will improve. Or if you vote for me not to improve, I'll not improve. And I just keep going.
You're doing an
the
amazing
seat of my
job,
pants.
Johnny, as always.
There's only one. I only have one modus operandi, and that is seat of pants, and see how we get on to the end of the show. So, Jay, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's great to have you back, and to have another little look at, or just to talk about some of the watches that I encountered. Well, I always say about the watches, but there's also the people behind them, because every one of those the images that you get, you're encountering some of these amazing human beings who are have completely changed the landscape of contemporary watchmaking. Absolutely. So, and I have a couple of absolute beauties to talk about this time around as well.
I mean, I'm so looking forward to your discoveries of Watches and Wonders in Geneva this year. Let's go.
All of these stories are from places that I got to spend 5 minutes before security escorted me to the door. So, no, so yeah, look, it was brilliant. There's one or two pieces that are, I'm not sure. I haven't seen any images of them anywhere before, so I hope we're not breaking any embargoes by showing any of them.
But as long as they haven't said anything to you, I think we are in a good space.
Absolutely. So, but as I say about the watches that we encounter whenever we're there, there are a number of them that are high profile, that have been stirring, making waves in recent times, and I'm going to start off with one of those, and one that Jay is from a friend of ours who is Andreas Strehler. He's the man.
He is.
Just
one of his. I think one of his watchmakers is coming to New York next week for the Indies New York. What is his name?
Yeah, would that be Gabriel perhaps, or
Gabriel?
Yeah, great guy. I actually spent an hour in his company in the Salon des Horlogers, which is this cool little space in the center of Geneva. Yeah. There's no sign outside the door. There's no you wouldn't know it was there. It's up on the 4th floor of this space in Place du Malard, and so you ring ahead, let them know you're coming, and you get this. You get let in until they see who you are. Say, how the hell did you get in, man? But
so
I know Jay, and I know Dan.
How does it normally work? It just that you get a code to enter or something like that?
You let them know you're coming. They'll be expecting you. Then there's an intercom system, and if they know that you're coming, so it's good for in terms of security, in terms of privacy and discretion. You can walk in there, and it's a nice space. There's some absolutely beautiful pieces from people like who got. I saw Vertelainen, I saw Romain Gauthier, I saw Laurent Ferrier, and also Andrea Streller. Gabriel was there on behalf of Andrea Streller, and the piece that I guess is the hot piece at the minute is from Andreas. Andreas has two channels in which he brings his watches to his audience. One is via Andreas Streller. Which are his masterpieces, his handcrafted complications that are. I'll come to them if we've got time. We'll come to them towards the end of the episode. But the one that I wanted to see was from his newer company, which is the more accessible Streller. And
it's like the Gronefeld have got the same thing. They have they have the Gröner and the Gronefeld. I think that's
they have indeed.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
It does. Well, look, if you're like me, you're sitting and looking at a Gronefeld or an Andre Streller, and you're going, man,
wow.
And but it's kind of like, someday if I had two lifetimes, maybe, I need to call my friend. Jay, what am I doing? So, but anyway, the one that the new one he brought is called the Streller Santis.
Is that the World Timer? Yeah, of course.
This is World Timer is one of my favorite complications.
Yes, of course.
And it just I have a real love of just the dial layout, the configuration, the simplicity of how you read it, and it's a really, really fine piece. To see that with what happens with that is that there are so many different dial variations. You can commission that in any one of up to, I think, around about 20 colors, and it's just fabulous, a fabulous piece. That's from there in that lighter blue. The World Timer is just one of those classic, practical, useful complications. Especially, obviously, if you're moving around the world and you need to know your home time, maybe a second time zone plus the time in your locality, and it's a beautiful piece. That one there was coming in, I think, at 24,750 in Swiss francs. Excluding taxes, and I was really, that one really impressed me. So that was the Streller Santis.
But did you see that he has a Streller? I think if it is Geneva, maybe the time which says Streller itself, where his hometown is. Is that what it means?
Now you are talking. You're absolutely right there, Jay. That is so where normally you would have a city there.
Yes,
that is instead of having Geneva or Sirna is actually where Andres is located. So
that's why he says Streller.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But it looks like it's something similar to Geneva also, huh?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It'd be on the same time zone instead of having the word Geneva or Zurich.
Because it looks like Helsinki and Moscow is just half 1 hour apart.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jay. You've come to my rescue. I'll be able to point that out.
I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. But looks like it.
No. Oh, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's what he has done. And so, and again, this is the more accessible entry level into Andre's world, and I think an absolutely fabulous piece, and one that it was definitely on my must see list. So yeah, that was
That's
good. That was
fantastic.
in the Salon des Horologers. He also has the Cyrna, which is the predecessor to this. It was
Yes,
the
yes,
first
yes, 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 yes.
piece, and you can see of my expert photography skills are, Jay, that I
Yeah.
managed to
Beautiful,
block out half
beautiful.
of the brand name
I
with
can
the
see the
Arhan.
Apple Watch taking a picture.
Yes, okay.
The reflection.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but so no, but there's that trick that that's why a watch is always set at 10 to 2 or 10 past 10 is because you
Yes,
don't block
yes,
out
yes.
the brand name. So that is not a brand called Strahler, it is actually Strahler.
Yeah.
And so my apologies to Andres and all concerned for that. So that that was one. Actually, on the last morning of our visit, that's when we did that. So a cool visit, but but before that, there was other pieces that really caught my attention, and one of them is from a guy who is not only a great young watchmaker, he's also a great friend of mine, and he is from Finland, or sorry, Denmark, and they'll never forgive me for that. I'm sunk now. That is Rune Backendorf, and he has this amazing little watch. And at first appearances, it says, okay, that's quaint. It has 2 dials. But what's going on here, Jay? I know we talked about this earlier. This is the hands do not move on this watch. So it is let me see, I think you're muted there, Jay. Um so so yeah, there you're back. You're back. So the hands do not move on this watch.
Yes. So the
So
little hand is the minute, and the large one is the hour, and the dial is moving. Is that what you're saying?
the dials are both rotating, and
That's really cool.
it is so cool. It is so, and I'll tell you what it is too, because you think I love a watch. And I think I mentioned this last week. A watch that you have to think about. You have to, how does that work? And it looks unusual at the outset. It looks okay, right? Okay, I can figure this out, and then you realize that the hands aren't moving, and the discs are moving, the dials are moving, and but still, it is intuitively easy to get used to. We're
Yeah,
obviously
of course. I
looking
mean, I
at
see it's 8:15 now.
8:15, man. Absolutely, absolutely. And Runa is another one of these artisan watchmakers who
This is
is,
insane.
yeah, yeah, and he is a wonderfully talented young watchmaker. And this again, the eight was a limited edition of 10 pieces.
Yeah,
I actually know that there was 11 made,
yeah.
but that was of
Zero,
10
zero.
pieces. And in around, I think, the 25,000. I stand to be corrected, not because this week, Jay, I don't have all my figures in front of me here.
Yeah.
I have the figures from last week, if that's any good, but they don't
25
pertain to
you
this
said?
week's watches. So, welcome to In the Metal, everyone. Get used to it. So, but this is yeah, it's a fabulous piece, and as I said, it was really nice
Is it
to
steel?
steel case. Yep, and as I say, he
You have the
is
picture of the case back?
case back is transparent. Yes,
Is it
but
transparent?
I don't have an image of the case back,
Okay.
and so anyway, but that is the it is called the AETT, and I guess I better spell that. So let me just see here for a second if I could do that, and because it's a peculiar spelling, and so
Yeah, I see
this
that.
is really professional, isn't it?
No, this is good.
What do you
Thank
think? This is slick, isn't it?
you.
Let's see. Show the 8
ETT,
by
Rune
Rune
Beckendorfer.
Backendorf, yeah, and
Baxendorf.
yeah, great guy. Runa has done me the great honor of coming and taking part in the Festival of Time, which is the
Oh,
event
he did
that I
in
organized
in no
in
in
Ireland.
Ireland.
Yeah. So that's how we all get to know each other, and
Yes.
we had good fun, and lots of stories that we can never reveal to anyone who
Yeah.
wasn't there. So, but it was all very sensible and all very, you know, it
I
wasn't
know.
at all centered in and around the bars of Waterford or anything like that there. So it was, or maybe it was.
Oh my God! There's this brand. I mean, this particular watchmaker. I am really I like his name because it's Sternenhimmel. Sternenhimmel.
Stern him. I know where you're going now. Yeah.
Philippe
So
Sternenhimmel is like, how do you call that? Stars of heaven? Sternenhimmel?
starry sky, starry
Starry
sky. Right,
sky,
folks,
exactly.
you're going to have to accept my apologies again. That was such a difficult watch to shoot, to photograph in that particular space. I never realized it didn't come out as well. This is by a German, a
Yes.
Berlin-based watchmaker called Philippe Pikulik. And Philippe has been pretty much setting the
Piccoli.
landscape on fire with his recent creations. I can tell you, once in a very rare while, a new talent comes along whose absolute obsessive approach to finishing just takes your breath away. Felipe Pikulik is one such. What this is called the
Is he a
Stern.
Polish national, or is he a German national with a Polish name?
I really couldn't answer that. I wasn't aware that it was a Polish name, but
I don't know. I just have this little feeling that could be. Let me check. Pikulik.
yeah. But Felipe is he's profoundly talented at hand engraving and finishing, polishing,
Yeah.
everything like that. This is his Stern and Himmel 2, which is the follow up, obviously, to.
It's Polish and Ukrainian.
There you go, Jay. It is. Listen, where would I be without this backup? Every day I'm learning, so I'm taking this on board as well. But what he got here, this the Stern and Himmel 2, so the Starry Sky
Yes,
2,
but Starry
and
Sky,
he
is it the
uses
real Starry Sky? What he's done there, or it's just gemmed it off?
a venturine, a
Aventurine.
venturine glass. Yeah, and it's a quite an unusual piece because for usually the dial is going right out to the bezel and beneath it, so it's
Oh,
fully.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
goes in this. It's hard to see perfectly from those images, but there's actually the dial is probably about 90% size of 90% scale in comparison to the size of the space under the dial, the crystal,
Yeah, yeah,
and that allows him to reveal elements of the mechanism as well as uh, a calendar, a sweep calendar along a sweep date, which runs
yeah.
along the top of the display. It's a beautiful piece. Unfortunately, the images do not do it justice. But so that was the new Sternenhimmel, which I think is in and around the €20,000 mark.
Yeah.
Um, so he also has one of the pieces that I love that he has created. He's really got a great touch with the moon phase. And so he released the Mond Phase 2 again,
Dude, the moon face. Oh my God, that is really crazy.
fully skeletonized.
Yeah, that looks like a moon too.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yep. He's using a piece of meteorite for
Yeah, it
the
is a meteorite.
yeah. That is such a fabulous display.
So how does it
I am a
how does
sucker
it
for
happen though? How does the moon phase work?
moon phase is 300 is a sphere.
It's a fear.
So yeah, so it rotates on a 29.5 day. cycle
Yes, 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 of
by
course.
2, which is 59-day cycle, and which gives you have your moon phase with the realistic moon effect uh, engraved into meteorite, and like again the finishing on Felipe's watches is just it's
Amazing.
spectacular.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to get, but every single facet of that display that you can see,
Amazing.
and obviously those that you can't, are mirror polished. There's anglage. The screws are
Yeah,
polished
it is.
to within an inch of their lives. They're
Wow.
they are absolutely beautifully executed, and the case back
Oh my God.
on this is also I think laser etching of the surface of the moon,
Yeah.
and like, what do you think of that, Jay?
This is insane. It's 20 pieces made. How much is he selling this for?
There was 20 pieces left or made originally.
Yeah.
I think if I'm correct, it was 28,000
Not bad for
euro.
this
It's a
masterpiece.
funny thing. His first, he like so many young watchmakers. His
Yeah.
first watches were an absolute steal. That
Yeah.
so, but the truth of it is, like, it's great. Everybody loves to get a
Yeah.
bargain. Everybody loves to get in on the ground floor. But the reality of it is, if these young watchmakers, when they're just breaking out, sometimes they don't know how to price themselves. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, if they're able to make 20 watches and they're trying to run a
It's
workshop,
120, $120,000. No, it's $250,000 is what he'll be making altogether. Plus, he'll be giving off 40% on the taxes, which is bullshit, anyways. So, and it's made in Berlin, so it's like really handmade in Berlin.
absolutely. What he was doing originally was modifying unitas
Yes,
movement,
yes, yes,
and
yes.
but he is moving away from that there. And increasingly, he is taking more of the watchmaking in house. What he's doing, if he does start with a base caliber, he is dismantling that base caliber and replacing it with bridges and plates that he's manufacturing himself. So it comes further away. It's uh, all I can say is, having seen these watches, I've sold a lot of them when within my time with the limited edition. Hello, guys, at the limited edition, and man, we sold a lot of these pieces, and
Yeah.
I have to say the finishing on them was what really caught your breath, and spectacular pieces, beautiful, beautiful. So, Jay, that's Philippe Pikulik. Um, there's another, you would know Remy Mayotte of Crayon.
Crayon, of course.
Crayon have a new piece out. Crayon have a very distinctive and very unique approach to their portfolio, which
Yeah.
are typically scaled around the sunrise and sunset
Yeah.
in different regions. They have done the first piece they created was called the Everywhere, which to me is one of the defining pieces of
Yeah.
of contemporary independent watchmaking. The
Yeah.
Everywhere was a piece. We'll hopefully get talking about that in greater detail at some point,
Yeah.
Jay. But the Everywhere was a piece that you could adjust it for wherever you were in the world, and it would show you the time of the sunrise and sunset throughout the year in any particular location.
What?
Now, that was an extremely complicated piece to create. So the evolution of Everywhere was the Anywhere, and Anywhere was calibrated in Remy's workshop, in the Crayon workshop in Neuchâtel, and it would be calibrated to a specific location. So if it was your home location, it would show right throughout the year the sunrise and sunset.
Your home location.
In fact, I think I have Anywhere. There's Anywhere there.
Oh, wow.
Again, he's using a kind of an aventurine for the nighttime.
Yes,
But
yes.
that band around the periphery, around the time display, that actually expands and contracts throughout the year. It's all geared to, with the calendar, with the annual calendar.
Yes, of course, the annual calendar. Yes.
Yeah. And so throughout the year, you don't need to reset that. That is calibrated to the location that you specify when you're buying that watch. And
So you can specify Brooklyn.
you could specify Brooklyn for sure, and I think you should. But
What is he asking for?
The anywhere I think was in the region of 25, but I will clarify that with you. Or not 25, 125. What am I saying?
125.
So I'll just verify that. So no, that was 88K in rose gold, and I'm not sure exactly what in stainless steel, which that particular piece is.
Okay.
So, but the Pac-Man, which is this new piece, is based on the exact same principle, and so it's instead of using the sunrise and sunset, it is using the characters from the Pac-Man game, and they chase each other around, and Pac-Man gobbles up his ghosts, and yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is in platinum.
Yeah,
and but it does the same thing as the Anywhere did, and that is that it shows the lengthening time of the day and the night via the characters, the Pac-Man characters.
But there's another one of these crayons, which is also very special with the dates, which lights up, or something like that. Or not lights up, but this one, yes.
This is the piece that was introduced last year, and it's called the Any Day.
Any Day.
What it is, again, what Crayon wanted to do was to introduce a piece that was, because Crayon's watches are not like they're not accessible to everyone.
No,
it isn't. Even this, for them to do the Any Day, which is what this piece is, which has the calendar, the lovely rotating disc or the crescent where you can see at the 10 o'clock position there.
Yeah,
and it's illustrating the 10th of the month, and it is obviously it was priced at just about 97,000. For them, getting the watch under 100K was a
big deal.
It was a significant thing, and but another fabulous piece. I have to say,
what exactly is the complication here?
It is the day. It's just a calendar. And but it's also it's an annual calendar, in that if you see there's 4 dots at the bottom, and it's a perpetual
so it's like Jan, Feb, March, April, then jump back to, is that what it is?
It jumps from in February, it jumps from 28th to the 1st.
Oh yes.
On a leap year, so you're talking perpetual calendar there. Yep.
Oh wow.
It jumps from it will take in the 29th.
Yeah.
If you see the 4 dots at the bottom.
Yes.
Are for the cycle of 4 year, the leap year. And so also it's what's happening there, I am sure, is that because the numerals are actually engraved out of the date numbers are cut. They're cutouts on that panel. So you see where you have 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 are grey. Those are the weekend numerals. So there's a lot, and that's obviously changing from month to month.
Yes, so it turns around from month to month. So every month has got its own weekend happening when it's lighter.
Yeah, what a thing!
Crazy.
What a thing! In my dream collection, there's going to be a crayon. It would probably be the Everywhere, but this is also. I just love a watch description.
You have to start collecting money now.
That's a good idea. I'm going to start doing that. So
collect for both of us, not just for you.
Yeah, that's cool. I understand. We all want to get in touch with Remy and order a nice crayon for our collection. But so Look, I love that. As I said,
That's a
in my green
beautiful,
collection,
beautiful watch.
there would be a
What
crayon.
a crazy watch that is.
Yeah.
So we did the Beckendorf, we did the crayon any day, we did the Picolik Mondphase
Yes.
too, Sternenhimmel, and the Strahler Santis. Is there anybody else what you want to talk about? I think one or two of them, right?
Yes. We still got more to go. One of the best, one of the best days I had in Geneva was spent in the company of a great friend of mine from Ireland, John McGonigal.
McGonagall.
John is one half of the John and Stephen McGonigal
Yeah.
brand that had their own, that were originally McGonigal. Now, what has happened is that John works from his base in Ireland now, and Stephen, his brother, is still based in Neuchâtel, and he is. We will get talking to Stephen one of these days,
Yes.
and probably John as well. But they've gone amicably, I have to say, they've gone their separate ways, and so Stephen is running the McGonigal brand, and
Okay.
also another personalized brand of his own called Magon. John is back in Ireland, and he is creating watches under the name of Ilan, and Ilan is
Elan.
a Gaelic word,
Yeah.
and
What does it mean?
it means island.
Island. Why does it
Island.
remind me of a Vacheron, Audemars? There's so many watches I can see in it.
That's because there is a very famous movement in it,
Yeah.
and which is the Valjoux 88.
Yes.
And what John has done is take the Valjoux 88, and I have been down in his workshop and I've seen this. He
Yeah.
has dismantled it. He has. There's even parts that were welded originally in the original Valjoux. He has separated the weld, and he has gone to town with the finishing,
Yeah.
and he has created this absolutely beautiful piece. So what have we got? The Valjoux 88 is your chronograph with
Triple date.
triple date. So you have your day,
Yeah.
date, month, and moon phase,
Yeah.
as well as the chronograph.
Yeah.
It is one of the absolute classic complications.
One of the best complications you have. You have everything in there, which is needed.
Absolutely. And the way that he has created this extraordinary piece, it is, as I say, it's different from the McGonigal brand, but it still has signatures there, like the hands. But the finishing on it is just absolutely breathtaking. And
How far away from you? How far away from you is he?
John is about 100 miles, or about 150 miles perhaps, from where I am. So I threatened him with a visit one day, so he hasn't said no. So I will have to take
Nobody can refuse you.
He's a great guy and a great friend. But I spent time with John. It was also the same day I was with Rune Backendorf, and we were in town. They were in town to meet a couple of customers, and so I got to spend a few hours with them. And another person that we got to meet, by the way, the Ilan that we're looking at here with the Valjoux 88, John makes about 6 or 8 every year. And so they're available to order. He has a limited number of movements, and I'm telling you, again, I've told him that there's a particular combination of features that I would love to feature on it, but I would love an Ilan for myself. Sub 40,000 euro, Jay.
That makes sense.
And but it is like, you know, some may say it's a Valjoux 88, but it is completely given the McGonigal treatment. And when you see the way that guy works on his polishing with a piece of shellac, shellac stick on metal, it's amazing. Also on that day, I got to meet. Now you're gonna have to forgive the images here because the sun was shining.
Pressure.
Thomas pressure.
Oh
Now,
my.
there's something you don't see every day.
I mean, what
That,
the? I mean, sorry. Sorry for my French. What the fuck is this? This is
that is his double axis tourbillon.
oh
And,
my god.
it's just absolutely because the tourbillon is rotating in that cavity that dominates the display there,
Yeah.
and it's a thing of wonder because you cannot help but just be absolutely transfixed by it. Again, the image. Apologies, folks, but I've taken this one from his website,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
it shows you in slightly better detail, but it was an extraordinary piece to see. And as I said to you, Jay, you don't see these pieces every day.
No, you don't.
Meeting Thomas and his wife Heike in Geneva was
I
again.
like.
You can imagine we spent a really great afternoon
Oh my
with
god. This is crazy.
Runa, who is actually trained. Runa Backendorf actually trained with Thomas, so
Yeah.
he learned some of his skills and took away, I'm sure, some of the design cues that he learned. And then there's the let me see, that's the the next one was the officer, which is from his Nemo series, and you can really get that steampunk, the Jules Verne kind of feel from that piece. So what you've got here,
how does this work? I mean, I'm looking at it. I look at the hours and I look at the minute. I look at something else below.
I will
I
tell
see,
you.
I see, I see, I see, I see, I see. The hours move and the minutes move. I mean, the triangular, the disc or whatever you call it.
The theme comes from Thomas. Had a previous career. Thomas spent many years in the German Navy as a submariner. He actually
Oh,
worked in submarines and spent a big chunk of his life underwater in submarines. So you get this absolutely
yes,
amazing nautical theme
yes, yes.
coming through here
Yes.
with the helm controls, and he has created. So we've got retrograde minutes on the right and
Yeah.
retrograde hours
Hours.
on the left.
Yeah.
And the pointer is in the center of each one of those the
Yes.
triangular
Yes. Yes.
lobes, if you like,
Yeah.
that they track down the minutes
Yeah.
and then jump immediately straight back up again.
Wow.
The long hand that spans across is the seconds hand, and that's because there are two. There's a dial or an inset crescent in the bottom of the dial.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
hard to see it. Again, it was the sun on that day. It was just, it was difficult to. Let me see if this is any better. Slightly better. You can see how the seconds
I
hand.
see that. I see that. I see that.
Yeah. So there's 1 seconds hand with 2 pointers. The second scale is in the bottom half of the dial, and it rotates. The hand rotates every 60 seconds, but because there's only a 30-second counter at the bottom,
That makes sense.
it does when you see it.
Yeah.
It's another really extraordinary piece, and
Wow, that is really amazing, huh?
I'm telling you, yep, absolutely.
What is that costing?
Each piece is manufactured to order, and so there's nothing. You can't go into the Thomas Pressure site and buy something offhand.
Yeah,
It's
of
all
course.
processed.
Tell him, and he tells you what it costs.
I can't offhand, and I wouldn't like to say because if I got it wrong,
No, you're right. I think I know what you're talking about.
Thomas would be outside my door like that. Go and get your facts right. He doesn't like incorrect facts. So, but no, but he is one of these guys. He is the complete hands-on experience in that he is the kind of guy. He wants you to visit him in his workshop if you're buying a piece. So it's a holistic experience, if you like, where working with Thomas. And So he, again, a real.
Insane how connected you are with all of these independent watchmakers. It's insane. I've seen a lot of people knowing three of them, or knowing one of them, or knowing 10 of them maybe, but you know the whole everybody from top to bottom.
Jay, it's one of those things. And I thought about it because whenever I was in Geneva a couple of weeks ago, I've known these guys when they were standing in their at their displays, literally talking to each other
Yeah.
because everyone was downstairs at the big brands, and I discovered this, and I recognized whenever I was talking to these people and
Yeah.
handling these watches, just standing there talking to these people, because they're unlike the brands. You're talking to a salesperson or something like that. There,
You're
when you're
talking to the
talking to,
watchmaker.
talking to a guy who actually
Makes it.
the story about that watch and how many times he nearly cut the top of his finger off, or whenever he was creating this piece, and so I really, and every time we go to an event like Geneva or something like that there now, there's 50 or 100 new people coming in who want to be part of the independent scene, and like they're all welcomed in, but there's no substitute for knowing people for that length of time, particularly when the going was tough, and a lot of these guys were waiting on that email to come in, or that
Yeah, I know the somebody deciding if they want to buy it or not, and maybe, oh, maybe we're gonna do it, maybe we're not gonna do it. It's really tough. It used to be tough for them, but I think it's different now.
Jay, it has these guys, and I often said that the independent sector used to be like satellites orbiting the planet Earth, and the planet Earth was the mainstream brands. Well, now those satellites have all fallen
Changed.
to Earth, and everybody's really, really hyper. Like the big retailers are all looking to get in on the independent game, and that the problem with that is that independents can only make a certain number of watches
Yes, exactly. So that
until
was too. That's a good thing too, because then people have to wait for that particular piece. They have to pay full amount of money for that particular piece. There's nothing like 30%, 40% off, like any of the other big manufacturers are giving them. You know what I mean? This is what it's supposed to be. This is what true business is all about.
everything to do with the independence is scaled back, including, as you say, the margins. There are no discounts because at the end of the day, it's actually, I think whenever you're working with an independent watchmaker who's probably already cutting his cloth pretty close or cutting his sail pretty close to the wind in terms of margins and feasibility of their business, I would never ask them for a discount, because at the end of the day, you're buying something that is in all likelihood not going to depreciate. Let's put it like that, or at least it's not going to depreciate like a stone. And so it's, for me, I'm delighted to see these guys finally getting the recognition that they deserve. And we are literally writing a new chapter in the history of watchmaking, and it is as close now, I think, as it has been in the last 50 years to what watchmaking was like 300 years ago, because you have guys like Philippe Pikulik, like Philippe Narbel, like, so it's unfair to name one or two because there are so many young guys coming through, and girls. I would mention Anna Linda Johnson last week, and there are some amazing.
And it's not easy to be a
coming.
girl and be on top of the watchmaking scene in Switzerland. It's not easy. I mean, I know Fiona Kruger has done something which is which I've never seen. I've seen Shona Twain like also helping so many different brands to create their watches. It's insane how that works.
How many women work behind the scenes that never get the plaudits? And so you mentioned Shona Twain there. I also have a great friend, Eva Loibe. There was another
yes, of course.
watchmaker, Rebecca Struthers in England. And you also had, there's so many women working behind the scenes that are in decoration or in watchmaking or any number of these things. But listen. So what I wanted to do was to kind of wrap up, and I'm going to wrap up back where we started in that amazing room in the Salon des Horlogers in Place de Mollard in Geneva, and back to those Andre Streller pieces, because we looked at his Streller brand. There was a few pieces on show there as well from his own the Andre Streller brand. I'm just going to have a quick look through a couple of these here. This remarkable thing is the Papillon d'Or.
Papillon.
Absolutely amazing creation.
Did he do that for as an Opus 4 or Opus 5? The Papillon?
He actually did, but that's his own brand. That was his. This is one that he created for himself.
Yes.
Under his own,
something like that.
Yeah, under his own. He did a project with Maître du Temps. He did, as you say, the Opus series.
Yeah.
Andre Streller is we interviewed him a few in the past on In the Metal. He has made other brands bring their dreams to fruition. He is one of those watchmakers that provides a lot of services behind the scenes to do with movement, development, etc. And this, if you look at that there, the 3D,
it's crazy.
Crazy. That's the same piece. That is the Papillon d'Or.
Yes.
There's also his Sauterelle L'Heure Mondiale, which is another beautiful piece, again with a rotating globe.
Yes.
And the tourbillon. And again, just to get seeing these watches, because I'm over here in Ireland, you don't get to see those watches over here. You know? And I'm going to wrap up with this. Well, two more. His transaxle tourbillon. Tourbillon. Again, double axle tourbillon, rotating in that space. It is an absolutely profound piece of watchmaking.
Yeah.
And but again, and just to wrap up, combine Andre Streller's watchmaking with hand engraved.
Oh my God! What is it?
This is the Fauna et Flora.
What is it? $1 million?
Do you know something? That again is a handmade piece, and I've been checking up, looking for the price out there. I wasn't able to.
You won't find it because it's I think special, a piece unique for people.
It would be, and I tell you what. Do you remember right at the start of this episode, there was the echo that I was getting. I had to shut down all the windows.
Yes.
I lost all my information. So I have been flipping.
Don't worry about it.
Here.
Don't worry about it. This is
winging it.
Yeah,
but you'll not be surprised to hear that, So, but that's the way. Look, that's what we do. That's what we do.
This is how it is. It is like you're talking. We're two friends. We're talking about something what we love to do, or what we love, and we're talking about situations which. Sometimes we lose information. We do lose information. That's it. And then what? If somebody wants to really think about it,
yeah, there's my old that's my old Gemini 4.
Yes, I see that
with the blue dial. So that's the first piece I ever got myself. And it's look, it's possibly a strange choice for someone who's talking about independent watches, but it was the first piece that I ever really got myself, and it's I like it.
Time for me to go.
It is time for us to go. And so what we're going to do, folks, is thank you all very much for joining us. We look forward to catching up with you again next time on In the Metal. Do us a favor. Subscribe if you're following us on
YouTube. Subscribe,
and we will see you again
tell us your comments about what you need, what you want. All of these things makes a big difference for us.
Absolutely,
to focus on the details what we want to put out. Sure.
But it's good to say In the Metal is back, and we're looking forward to more episodes with Jay, more episodes with Dan, and hopefully more episodes with you all. And look forward to bringing you more stories from the world of independent watchmaking. So we'll catch you